Hi there, this is just another really short lesson called Filling Out the Gaps, how to strum all the way through the song. Now, in an earlier lesson, which you might want to go back and watch, I showed you how to download a chord sheet from the internet and basically learn your favourite song by following through the lyrics on the screen and then playing the chords over the right words. Now, for this one, I'm going to show you how to fill that song out so it sounds a little bit more involved, like there's a bit more going on. Now, I'm going to use a really simple tune for this. I'm going to use one that I hope everyone recognises. We're all supposed to be washing our hands to it the minute it goes. Okay, now I know some people are wondering why I'm using songs like this. This is just about keeping things in the public domain for these short tutorials. I don't want to be kind of stepping on anyone's toes with songs they've written and things like that. Now, if you were to look at the chord sheet to Happy Birthday, you'd get something like this. You'd get Happy Birthday and you'd strum on C on birthday to you, and you'd strum the G on you, and then you'd go the other way around. Happy Birthday's a G and to you, and you is the C. Now, if you were going to strum the whole song like that, it would work really well. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear whoever's name it is, happy birthday to you. And that works fine, there's nothing wrong with that, it just doesn't sound all that involved. It doesn't sound like there's much going on. Okay, so we're going to start with a really simple one. We're going to start with just the pulse. We're just going to strum the beat. Now the pulse to this song, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. It's in what we call 3 times. So the pulse is going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. And that's all I'm going to strum. I'm going to go happy birthday. Now you might notice that the first thing I'm doing is I'm having to change that chord so much quicker because I've got less time from each strum to the next chord. Now, if you wanted to cheat slightly here, you could take a strum away. You could go da 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 da. Can you see that just gives me a little bit more time to change my finger position if I need it. Okay, now we're going to add a rhythm to it. I'm going to start with a really simple rhythm. I'm just going to start with a tea, coffee, tea, coffee, tea rhythm that goes like this. Now, at the minute I'm doing all of those strums down, that's not actually the sensible way of doing it. I'd suggest doing it as a down strum and then what we call an up strum. So I go down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. Whether you're doing that with your finger or your thumb, doesn't matter. The only key thing there is to keep your wrist nice and loose and not press too hard into the strings. Your thumb or your finger just wants to be gliding over those strings, not getting tangled up in them. Now we could add more notes to that rhythm. We could change it from tea, coffee, tea to tea, coffee, coffee. So we go da, 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 da. Starting to sound a bit more involved, but it's also starting to sound a little bit rigid now. So let's see if we can do something more interesting to kind of mix that up a bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and swing this rhythm. Now, swing, in kind of layman's terms, is basically just making the rhythm bouncy. So instead of going da 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 da, we go da 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 da, and all those quaver notes become bouncy instead. So we get this sort of feel. Da 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 da. Really nice Hawaiian feel to that as well, really fits in with that kind of ukulele sound. Okay, if you wanted to make your strums really interesting, let's say I'm going to go for a sort of flamenco thing. If you want to go for something like that, then that's brilliant, but that's all about experimentation. Watch other ukulele players play, watch other guitarists play, watch banjo players, mandolin players, you name it. Watch other instrumentalists playing their instruments. Listen to the rhythms that you hear. Play around with it, discover what you can get. There will be more tutorials up on complicated strumming techniques and percussive techniques, but watch what people do and see if you can copy some of those ideas, experiment with it, see what you can put in that gap between those chords. Good luck with it.